Hi everyone, I'm Veronica Bartolini with Codebreaker Real Talk, and guess who I have on today? I am so excited to have Sibyl the artist and Chad Cooper, my co-host and friend. And Sibyl she's become my friend. I'm so grateful, Sibyl. Her
Yes,
goal,
it's fun to have communicate with because most people don't know about this stuff.
yeah, and Sibyl, you can talk about that. Your goal, well, you can talk about how you met the super soldier teams or whatever. And her goal, your goal, is to paint 72 of us. That's a lot. And to write about us. So thank you for writing about me. Go ahead, Sybil.
Okay, so it's kind of interesting. Originally, I just wanted to be an artist. I went to 4 years of art school in Paris. That was the most amazing time when I went there. I guess I was 17 to 21. That's when I was there. Um, and then and so I've always painted. I never stopped. And then excuse me. I never really got famous though. And I when I was 37, I think, so it was the year 2007 is when I woke up and I read Bryce Taylor's book and Kathy O'Brien, and I learned about some other stuff too. I was already kind of there because of 9/11 and Tesla's technology being suppressed and all these medical cures being suppressed. So I was kind of there. But when I learned about like MK Ultra and the torture of children, um, I just it just really blasted my world, and so I've been kind of like
When
that
did you
for
find out about that in relation? Yeah.
2007 because that's when I
Oh,
I found this one website called educateyourself.org. Not
okay.
I agree with every single thing he writes, but mostly. So anyway, he
So
had a,
that's when you had your awakening as well, correct?
I would say yeah, that was the most like, but I keep awakening because there's we never know it all, right? But it's good to
Yeah.
awaken back that there's an evil cabal that's doing these, horrendous things. They're not nice, and yeah. So anyway, I wanted to be famous originally as an artist, and but then after I kind of woke up to how insane the world is, and Hollywood is evil, and I don't even know what art is anymore or who's a and also I don't really know in the art world if there's the same kind of trafficking of children, all that stuff. So I was just, well, whatever. And then I my first conference I went to was 2022 Journey to Truth Secret Space Conference, which was really amazing. And I brought my iPad and I got to sketch. Daryl James was first, then James Rink, then Tony Rodriguez, and I got a picture of Rebecca to use. I didn't get to sit down with her, so I was doing those, not knowing what I'd do with them. Um, Back in the aughts, I would paint George W. Bush or Cheney or Condoleezza Rice. I've got these paintings of them in some kind of scenes. Um, so yeah, I like drawing people, and I was doing people I didn't like, but now I do people I do like because these people have been through horrendous things. And so anyway, then in March of 23, I saw my old friend from art school, and she was the one that suggested I start a Substack because I wasn't originally going to write. But then I just started writing, and I've been keeping it up. And I'm really into writing too. I try to be a little bit funny, but not in a derisive way, and I try to be a little bit scholarly because I grew up learning how to do research papers, and so I'm trying to also I got all these thoughts, sorry. um I saw the segregation in the community there, and like, say for example, I love Dr. Sala, but he never interviewed Penny Bradley, and she's kind of a major, she's the one who brought the word Nachbachen into the parlance of today, and other things. So I wanted to put it all. Oh, and then the Jisic people, there's just a few people in that scene, and I love them, but I just wanted to write about anyone who had experienced these horrendous secret space programs, or also some abductions or contactees like Alex Collier and stuff. So anyway, I just wanted to make a big thing, and my goal was to have normies read it, but I don't know when that's ever going to happen. But I wanted to show them, like, this is probably real, and even if not all these people agree on every single thing, it's probably real that there's a secret space program. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's my goal with that, and I just want to do a few more.
Okay. Yeah, that's beautiful. Because I think like sometimes there's modalities that can transcend certain genres or whatever, like sometimes song does, or perhaps art can, so in a way, you're writing things that you want the normies to read, and we're saying things we'd like the normies to hear. But it's just a matter of getting them to listen or look, right? So through your art, you can create that visual presentation, and I feel like what you're doing because you said you paint people that you don't like, and you paint people that you do like. So I get the sense that you perhaps try to go for the essence of the person, and maybe try to capture the essence of them as well, using a little bit of humor and in a scholarly way, in your writing. So that is appreciated, because in a lot of ways this isn't taken seriously. And there is a lot of division within the community, as you mentioned, and I do believe a lot of that comes because of the alters, or the fracturing of the personalities and the overlays. And then this is a 5D world, so we can keep peeling back the layers from there, and of course when you're a light worker, you're more demonically attacked, and so you're going to get more negativity in your ear. In regards to things, there's going to be the divisiveness between people, and I've seen that firsthand, even with our beloved Penny Bradley, and certain altars, that will come out, and in that sense. And it's not that she's wrong and they're right, or they're right and she's, or I mean, or they're wrong and she's right. It's more like it's just a tricky situation to try and unite or coalesce, but I do feel like you're doing a great job of that, because you are going for the essence of things, and not like the ego of it, in a sense. And so that's appreciated. That will help unite people, as they read each other's stories, and then and altars calm down with each other. I agree with you. I do believe that Hollywood and everything out there is a cult, and I have heard that the alt world does have an inner circle. And so to join that, because they do traffic children, I believe, through these,
they do.
Through these, it's not like through cages like they claim. There's maybe a kid in cage situation that's, something else, part of something else. But as far as what I know, these kids are transferred in limos through art galleries into, and then they also communicate back and forth to each other, because there's different fractions of Hive, from what I understand. And one fraction may use their art and their displays to communicate something over, because let's look at like Marina Baranovich, that's not an artist.
No. No,
that's nothing even near what an artist should. I don't want to stare in her face. I don't want to read her words on her wall, and I certainly don't want to see her photographs. So those, but that's something they're using, and that's what I'm saying as a method of communication. Because these people read symbols like we speak English, correct? They're very fluent in that. So I agree with you. It's going to be really tough for you to get your art out there and to get your writing known without joining that inner circle. And how do you do that without being part of a club that we don't want to be part of, you know. So we're doing what we can do.
So I won't do that. I don't care. You know, I'll just.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we won't do that. I shared my story with you prior to the recording, so no, I've been invited many times to join them to train their, we'll just say clones, and I said no, and I've been threatened many times, and I already told you guys what happened. So and it's been on my interviews before. About the DARPA agent, and we won't go into that.
Right.
But with Maria Brakomovich, she is actually telling the world what they're doing to us and the children. Okay. There is Satanism. Okay. That is real. What they do is they take children, they took me. I was a part of the SRA, unfortunately, with Hillary Clinton, and I have a memory with that I've already spoken about, and it happened in Mexico at my grandmother's house in my uncle's room. She had two men with her, and I won't talk about what happened. I've already talked about it before. But what I'm saying is, so they traffic the children, and they pretty much use them for sex rituals. They drink their blood. They eat their poop. I'm not kidding. There's, for example, Alicia Keys. She gained a little weight. They say, oh, maybe it's because she had her kids. Well, the actresses, they are tired of used as sex slaves. Okay. They do eat their poop, believe it or not.
Okay. Well, I've heard there's longevity in that. Eating poop eaters live longer because of the gut biome. So these people are that obsessed with living longer that they will go to that extreme.
They want to live longer.
Drinking urine, people do that too.
Yes, and urine.
Sterile, and it's
fecal transfer or something, but don't go eating the poop. Oh my God.
No,
but okay.
They do that.
All right.
Yeah.
But Olivia James wrote about that in her book. They gave her and her trauma twin poop sandwiches, you know.
It's horrible. And of course they do, you know, huh? Say again.
I can't imagine what that's like.
They had me do that in one of my altars, not the poop thing that I remember.
That's SRA, right? Everything
in urine. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I do remember the urine. Gosh, I know I'm probably gonna have dreams and remember when we do the regression chat. But anyway, so that's what they do. They want to live longer. They traffic the children. So going back to Alicia Keys, a lot of these women in Hollywood are tired of getting raped. You know, they're tired of having sex with these people and demons. Okay. Look at the movie Eyes Wide Shut. So what they do is they gain weight on purpose, so that way they won't want to have sex with them. Okay. These guys are like, say again.
So they won't be as attractive to them.
Right.
Okay.
Because the main bimbo, quote unquote, and I don't like to say it because I love my blonde hair, but they want us to be bimbos, but we're not. We're super smart. Okay. We can kick your ass. We can kill you with our mind. But what they want to do is they want to try and traumatize us with sex, so that way we don't speak up, you know, with rape and all that. So speaking of clones, I have Sheila the She-Hulk. She's my clone and my alter. I know she's real. I see her. Okay, in my dreams, and when I go into, I can see her right now and she's real. Now I feel that they overlaid some kind of monster over my chakras. That's what they do. Max Spears talks about when they overlaid the monster that when he was biting chains, and then later, like, he woke up and he's like, what happened to me? This lady gave me a drink, you know, and he was put down into MK Ultra hypnosis and things like that. There's a video out there that I will go ahead and share in the comments where you can get like a little mosquito bite and you can just like start falling asleep, or they can do it remotely. Start falling asleep and then they hypnotize you. They can take you out. What they do is they clone you first. It takes anywhere from 6 to 7 months to clone you. And then every hour after that, they can clone you every hour after that. So they can have an army Okay, they can have 20 to 1,000 altars to fund their war, and you would never remember because they wipe our memory, your memory. But what the thing of it is when you're awakened, what they had me with 10 pills. They had me clonazepam, fluvoxamine. They had me on heart medication. They had me on a CPAP. I had gained 271 pounds. I was sick. I was dying. This is in 2016. And in 2017, when I started listening to Max, I'm like, oh my gosh, I got my memories back. I'm like, oh my gosh, what? Is this real? I got myself off the medication, and I'm still off the medication. It's been since 2019 when I said no more. I took myself out. And of course, the group that I'm with, I don't even go to them anymore, but I'm under their care, supposedly. They're like, well, how did you take yourself off of that? And I'm like, I just stopped taking them. Some you just break the pills in half, a quarter. I'm not saying you guys do it. I'm just saying what I did to save my ass, to save my life. Started working out again. Okay. After all, the near-death experience thing that I actually did die. So
You just did this again with morphine.
and they thank you for reminding me. They
Oh,
had
I
me,
won't forget. You did it cold turkey in the middle
I
of
did it cold turkey. It was hell. I was on
depression,
for 5 months.
in the middle of the holidays. Yeah, and you just stuck to it.
That's
They showed
hard.
me,
I know.
cancer, and they're like, now they want, I think they want to clone me
So,
again. That's why they do this shit. Go ahead.
so
Sibyl was gonna say something. Sorry, Chan.
please, yeah.
Oh, you go. I didn't. Not yet. You go first.
Well, I
Chad.
kind of want to engage Sibyl a little bit, just because I know you said earlier, like what happens behind the scenes or in front of the scenes, and I'm like, well, I believe there's polarization inside the communities, and then the communities that used to be adjacent to us right now, because there's this belief system that they just slap some visors on you, and that's what we're experiencing is MKU and visors being slapped on us, and I disagree with that. I do agree that maybe that's part of the training, maybe that's part of the programming, maybe that's part of the false memories. This is a 5D experience, or 4D, however you want to look at it, that we're talking about, so it doesn't go within the boundaries that we work within here. And so I do feel like different individuals get used differently. Like Veronica was used quite heavily. She's an O negative. She's got all of the clairs. My mother could play games with us as a kid, where she'd call the color of the car out before it came around the corner ahead of us, and she'd always get it right. She had horrific dreams, and then she took Prozac and things like that went away, and now they're starting to come back. And then but she's just she's very psychic that way. And then or precog, not precog, because she wouldn't predict the future. She'd have dreams of things happening in the moment. And then my father's very empathic, so there's people like me that are A plus blood types that maybe not have what the O negatives have, what they're looking for, but we have a use. So I can't really claim like, gosh, I remember getting kidnapped then, and I remember getting taken then. I just remember certain things in my past that just, I lived in a cloud a little bit. I was always in a little bit of a daydreaming. I remember waking up and peeing in the laundry, and stuff like that, So were there times when I was taken and put back by something that was different than just kidnapping me? Yes, I do believe that. Maybe they took me consciously, maybe they took me physically. I would believe that they took me physically a couple of times, even though I don't have memories of that. There are times when I do remember, like hearing a garage door open when I was home alone and being punished to sit on my bed, nobody was home, and I cover my head, and then that's the last thing I remember, hearing footsteps down the hall. So what happened in that moment, I don't know. Were there moments when I was taken? There's also moments when I was like at schools, because I got moved and transferred to different schools growing up, and I never missed a day of school. I never got sick and missed a day of school. Yeah, I never got an award for making every single day at school. So I'm like, well, what days did I miss? That I wouldn't remember. So I do believe I was taken sometimes, and I can't detect when, and that really bothers me. But I do have a sense of kind of when, but not exactly the moment. And that's how good I do believe it happens. because I have had contact before, and I'll call it contact or a formal meeting because there is like a whole process that happens that leads up to it. It wasn't communication, but I did definitely see the altars that I have that are in this either 4D realm or 5D realm. I'm not claiming they're here in the 3D, but they very much exist, and they're in space and they're on ships. And I don't believe that's an image that was fed to me through a visor, because I've seen I'm gay, first of all. And so they were trying to honeypot me with blonde women all the time. And so I just had images of women being played in my mind all of the time. Were they doing that while I slept? Did they slap some visors on me? I don't know. But I have images of Bo Derek and blondes and just coming out of the water and then being honeypotted and falling in love with these girls as a child. And now I see them coming to me together as adults in spacesuits. And so, yes, I was. So it must be really confusing for those who were honeypotted, like Veronica was saying, like perhaps to JP, perhaps to other people. I had something keeping me separate from these girls, something internal that I was born with, that stirred me in another direction than falling in love with them ultimately. But for some reason, they worked hard on me and paired me with like about 3 different women when I was growing up and through school and stuff like that. Well, and I've seen those altars behind the scenes. So I know they exist. How did they do that? Did they clone me? Because I'm telling you, one of those altars is really shy like I used to be. Am I interrupting?
No. I wanted to tell you that I'm sorry, Chad, but they raped you.
Yeah, there's different things that I had a sense of, but I don't have memories of these. So let's go there and just say that first of all, and then I do remember a big accident when I was younger, and it was a car accident that threw me out of the car. My sister, she was like 2, I was 4, and our dog went missing. And what I was told by a psychic named Ivan Teller was, well, I've always wanted to know, why did this dog, what happened? And he says, they're punishing you behind the scenes because you wouldn't do what they wanted you to do, and they threatened to kill your dog in the 3D. And so is that what happened? I don't know, but it resonated because I have had a huge thing that's trauma with dogs. You know what I mean? I love my dogs, and I don't like to see them die on TV or anybody lose their dogs. So there's some kind of connection there, perhaps, and I remember crying during stories like where the red fern grows when the dogs die. What I mean? Like,
sad book.
Yeah, these books and stories would get to me, and I have a feeling it's because of what they did to us behind the scenes. But were they doing it to me? Because I hear a lot of people say me, 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 me. It's your soul, it's my consciousness. But no, I don't claim it to be me, because what I saw when I saw that person standing with that girl I dated in 6th grade or fifth grade, Denise, he was still that shy guy that I used to be as that kid. And I've grown since then. I've had different lessons. So we have different experiences, different memories. We're different beings from the same energy.
Well, yeah, we are God particle. They take our God particle, right? And they clone us, and we also have altars now.
So hopefully that explains, because I think you were saying, like, are we all taken and going through these programs? Like Veronica went through it heavily. She was taken, she had things, SRA and everything else. No, I do believe my altars have been involved in SRA. I do believe, because I have those memories, but I don't know that I have.
I don't really think but I need to do some hypnosis, QHHT or something. I'm really curious, just regardless of what of the programs or not. It's interesting for a person's soul to learn about themselves. But one thing about what you were saying in the beginning of that, about the there's a lot of people talking about simulation theory right now, and that's what you said, I guess, about visors. I haven't really heard what you were talking about, someone saying that all we are is wearing visors. I I think
No, the SSP people, they're saying that the memories were planted into our minds using MKU, torture, and using visors, because there's a community out there right now saying that aliens don't exist, space don't exist. And I'm like, it does. It does in different.
I saw a UFO 3 days ago in the sunset.
They claim those to be government, remember? And they're claiming the aliens to be cryptids now and coming from underground. And yes, there is a lot of validity to this. There's an awful lot of truth to this, but there's also fourth dimensional beings and fifth dimensional beings that come in and out of our reality that I do believe exist as well. I don't believe that there's one philosophy that's right and one that's wrong. I believe this is a combination of yours is right and ours is right. And how does that truth look now? Because right now we're.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Sibyl.
When I write, I try to understand the people I write about as best I can. And sometimes it's a snippet of their experience and sometimes a little more. Like the one about Mark Demizio, I wrote as much as I could because he said he would never write a book or interview again. So I just tried to write his story. But I just mean that, I forget what I was going to say?
It'll come back.
I'm sorry, I forgot. Okay, Chad.
Let me just show you something and then you'll get it back. Ready?
Okay.
I made this book called Wicked. Okay. And this is Wicked, the new movie that just came out. You can see it on my Instagram. I make books and they talk to me. So this is the merging of the kids with the monsters. Kids being merged with demons, with aliens and shit like that. That's what they're doing. Cloning kids and overlaying them with the green monster like they did with me with Sheila She-Hulk. How? By watching movies. The words, the singing, it goes into your brain, right? And then they start manipulating you. And then not only that, they have, like we've talked about so many times here, Chad and I, with Sabrina Wallace, they have silver cords stuck up our you-know-where, and they have chips, okay? They have an implant over our heart, our stomach, and our bladder. And they can remote control us digitally. We are digital twins. The military, finds people to do black ops or whatever kind of side operations, put a visor on, the EEOS. They log on to the computer and log into your aura and your body to trigger you. Like they give me migraines. Last night they gave me migraines, Charlie horses, the day before Charlie horses. Every night I go and pee 20 to 22 times a night. They don't let me sleep, okay? They give me nightmares. Just 2 nights ago, I was dreaming. I woke up in a bed because I usually go to bed here and wake up in a bed or through through a window or a portal. So I wake up in my bed in my room here, and there's a lady with black hair. She says, "Hey, I'm here to help you heal from cancer." I'm like, "Who are you?" "Oh, I'm your nurse, but you have to go somewhere with me." So she takes me to a church. And then there's these guys there that are like trying to hurt me, do something to me. I go, "You know what? F you. I do not go to churches. You guys are satanic here." It was a satanic church that she took me to. This morning, I woke up and I had a dream that I was pregnant. Okay. They use us for the surrogate program as well. I don't know how many kids I have out there. I know I've talked to one for sure, but I always have dreams of, anyway, I'm going on and on. But did you remember anything? What were you going to say, Sibyl?
Oh, just I think it was when. Yeah, that's ridiculous. It's people who just want to negate the fact that there's an SSP. Eventually, I'll write a little bit about what's his name again? The one in 2003 who hacked NASA and NSA.
Gosh, I forgot his name.
Yeah, I'll just do a little thing on him because he found the names Solar Warden and Extraterrestrial Officers.
I was in Solar Warden too, and Mark Waffen. I was a pilot. A lot of us are like I tell you, they clone us. Go ahead. Sorry, I forgot his name.
It's real, and people who try to say it's all an imagination from MK or MK, say no. That's they're trying to cover their asses, and there's the sky at
Okay,
night.
they're saying that there's a dome above us and that we're in a
No,
construct and this Earth is flat and therefore there's no aliens,
I get
and
so
they all come from underground. And it's like,
no, they're
let's unwrap that package a little bit because nothing deserves a bow quite yet,
Right.
if it
Go
was
ahead.
flat,
Sorry.
the sun and the moon have to be
Yes,
Arabic,
exactly.
and
It's like a potato.
laser. So the simplest explanation is generally the one that works. And the whole thing about time zones, and when I flew to Australia, it was completely different stars in the sky, the Southern Cross and all that. That doesn't work on a flat Earth. And anyway, yeah, I don't like
exactly. But are we in a construct? Are we in a simulation? Those are things people
that.
are discussing, So, okay, go ahead and discuss them. But at the same time, just because we're in a dome doesn't mean that we haven't gone or been in space, and have these memories on ships, because where we're going may be in a fourth dimension or a higher vibration and in a different time space continuum. And
We have
so
jump rooms. I was in the
because I'm
jump room.
telling you, when I get my visitations, it's not like they're right there. It's formal. It takes technology, and then I get the images sent to me, and I see them, when I'm in that zone. And it's only happened a couple of times. But it's not like they're traveling from just 100 miles away. I don't get the sense of, it's like they're sending a message from beyond in another dimension. And our 3D space does exist out there. I mean, there are planets floating around. So where's, that there is a firmament, maybe. Yes, there's maybe a dome even further out, but we don't know where it is and what it consists of. We can only speculate. It doesn't negate everything.
I personally don't. I think there's space, and I think one person I wrote about believed that there was a big barrier created by these they used the eighth force, as he called it, Dan Cooper, a big barrier around the solar system so no one can get in or out. But I don't know. I mean, okay, I thought his story was interesting, and I kind of believe that he was taken into the programs. Very fascinating story, but he might be wrong about some of it, and so I don't get too bogged down with what everything makes sense with what everybody says, because it's better to just at the end look and see what is the common ground here. And
yes,
but this whole reality is God's simulation, I guess. A beautiful creation. It is beautiful, even if it's hard here. But
remember who rules the world.
I'm sure some of it's simulated. I'm sure some of it's construct, and I'm sure some of it's natural.
It's all about consciousness, and they're doing really amazing experiments and proving that it's all about consciousness, and that's why we can manipulate our reality when we begin to master our mind more and emotions. And that's what I think.
Well, thank you, Sibyl. That reminds me of last night I went to Target with my daughter took me, and I approached the counter. I said, "Hey, I'm here to exchange something," and he goes, "Okay, would you like cash or would you like a card?" And I'm like, "Go ahead and give me cash," I said. And I was just really happy, because I finally was able to go out and get what I needed. Thank you, everyone, for the donations. Thank you. My vitamins, hydration, organic food, whatever I needed. And so I went, and then he's like, I was like, "I love your hair," because he kind of looked like Prince. I wanted to tell him that. But I said, "I love your hair. Thank you." We're just really happy, high vibing, my daughter and I, we're just really happy. And just really excited, happy for life. I know I'm going to get through this other surgery. We got this kind of thing. And then he's like, "I need to call for help." And I'm like, "Why?" It's stuck. "Oh, the cash register stuck." I'm like, I just went like this. I'm like, again, because it happens to where I can see my light coming out. How when you go in your bed, or when I lay down in my bed, it all lights up, because we are electromagnetism, we are the plasma, we are that God particle, the bioluminescence that we talk about, right? The star particle. So he had to ask for help, and it wouldn't work. It wasn't until I walked away that, oh, it opened. And my daughter's like, Mom, and I'm like, it happens to me many times. It happens to me a lot. I jam things. Lights will pop.
And that seems to be common with O negatives.
I remember you saying that in some interviews that that you made drawers or cabinets open and shut or something to that effect.
There was one, yes. And the water, I manipulate water. Fire too. There was in my old apartment, I didn't have a fire extinguisher, and I was making a turkey or something, and the thing caught on fire, and I'm like, okay, what do I do now? So then I thought about ice, snow, and it froze, and so it died down, and I didn't need a fire.
Wow, amazing.
You can
that's exactly what I'm talking about. And I believe that a bunch of people did that for Hurricane Milton, which was looking so deadly. It was Category 5 and then headed barreling in. And I know I was watching Typical Skeptic that night, and Sean Bond was on there, so I participated in that meditation. But people were doing it all over, and I kind of believe that they toned it down, or we all toned it down.
You can, because look, when you hold hands with someone, you can fuse your energies together. Why do you think prayer works? It's not the name of GAGESUS. It's you. It's you that's doing it together in one mind. That's how it happens. That's how we protect our children. That's how we save the world. Enough with this cloning bullshit. I'm not funding your guys' war anymore. Like, I don't know if you guys are going to take me out when I go into, the surgery. You better not. And I do not consent to being cloned again. And I do not consent to being taken out, because I got work to do here with Sibyl and Chad and other people that are here around us listening, right? Come on, Sibyl.
When is that? Or you don't want to talk about it.
Thank you for the Pan Corsi. I have one more package. I've been taking that. It helps.
You might be all better by the time that day rolls around. So I hope, will they test you again or look at your lungs?
I have 4 tests coming up. One of them is a lung function. The other one is a PET scan. Mm-hmm.
Be interesting if they're any different. Let's just see.
I'm excited. I don't think I need surgery, because I'm working on it, and every night I tell my lungs I love you. I tell my heart I love you. I'm sorry that I misused you in my life, and I love you. Like, you're awesome. Like, I'm so sorry that they want to take some of you out. No, we're gonna send healing right now. I go through my whole body from head to toe, or sometimes I start with my feet, and then just sending love. Hopefully that will disengage that stupid thing that they have over my stomach, bladder, and my mind. Because love is a powerful force. And I also got rid of some hate from what we talked about before the show, and also from my divorce. So I am healing, and I have never been as happy as I am now in my life, and we got to continue to heal. And I'm going to send you that positive energy, whoever's watching.
I'll send some to you. I'll try to.
Go ahead, Sibyl. Sorry.
Oh no, I'll focus on your healing, and I think it's going to be great. I think you're going to get better. Maybe you won't get that surgery.
Me too. Thank you. You're helping us with the artwork, Sibyl.
Really, I thank you. I don't even know if it's good or not. Or no, I believe I'm good. I'm in the style of the masters. That's why my work looks like that. I'm not saying I'm as good as them. I'm just saying I'm a painter like Van Gogh and Matisse and de Kooning, but he was more modern. I'm in that. I'm like their granddaughter, but I don't know why does it do any good? I mean, I like drawing these.
Yes.
You're a healer.
It does good because first of all, AI cannot capture the essence of somebody, and I'm
Exactly.
so tired of seeing. I have to work with AI and generate stuff, but I'm tired of. I wish I had art artistry to portray the image and or somebody to portray it. Like people are going to get tired of looking at the AI stuff real quick. I have a feeling, and they're going to want to. There's something that just comes through when a human does something. It's not constructed, it's created. You can feel the difference in it, and so that's what you're doing, and it's gonna
one thing that mine is really messy, like it's pixelated, and sometimes I have big brush strokes. The AI art is always so slick, and we have a word for it in art school, illustrative or illustrative, rather than the fine art in it. It's a dichotomy that I don't know how to define it very well, but that's what I feel, and that's why I love humans art. And actually, another thing that's really interesting about art is that everybody, if you learn to observe the kind of what they started in ancient Greece, the classical, that classical time, everything changed. The observation, because they could draw the body in space and the fluid cloth. And but anyway, everyone is idiosyncratic, and so that's what makes human art interesting. If the AI would start to try to draw the way we're taught to, it would still not be the same as a human.
Okay, so I can tell the AI, this is the only thing it does for me, is it gives me an image of because I don't visualize, so I appreciate AI because I can feed it a bunch of words and it gives me an image and I'm like, oh, that's so nice. I can see what that looks like. Or other people, when they're describing their worlds, they can do an AI image of it and I get the idea of it, but it's not something I would ever spend. And I believe this just happened, $1 million on, or even $1 on to put on my wall, because I don't want there's nothing there. You can't feel into it as a human as you can an artist's piece of work on their wall. What I want on my wall is from artist. I don't care how slick the AI looks. That doesn't do anything for me. It just tells me, oh wow, that's a fantastic world. Look at that fantasy world. You're right. That is kind of what that would look like, underneath or whatever. But that's all it does. That's all it does for me. It won't be on my walls.
Yeah, no, that's great. Some of those AI generated images are pretty interesting. But let me tell you a weird story. My son, who is 10, he was having a lot of fun with that about a year ago, generating a bunch of drawings. And he do one day he did one that, and we used the word, we did it together, but he did it, castle party, like medieval castle party or something. So it made this incredible drawing of all these people inside of a castle room with chandeliers, but every person was really deformed and creepy.
Yeah.
Almost like it doesn't
three arms.
And
like an octopus.
So that's
good job, AI.
So did he still continue doing that, or is he gonna draw more on his own, your son?
Oh no, he kind of
he drawed this, or this was AI? He drew
the AI drew it.
Yeah, the AI drew this.
And we're like, that is creepy. And he kind of he doesn't do it anymore. And he does draw on his own. He does great drawings.
He's gonna do great. And you're gonna get more famous after this show. You want to get famous? You're gonna get famous.
I want to know. Yeah.
What show today?
I can also make NFTs out of all these drawings I've done. Hopefully,
that's what I was wondering.
I'm gonna do it before I do it with the ones I've already released, but it doesn't matter because I just wanted to get my work out there a little bit, and also I want to help. What's that?
You got, okay, your goal is 72. So what I see you putting all the pictures and their stories in this huge portfolio, and that's Sibyl. Boom. By the time you're done, it's like, man.
Oh, could you imagine that gathering too, that exposition, yeah. Those
Actually,
expedition.
now I know, Chad,
It's
who
not
she
going to
is.
come out.
Remember I told you I knew who she was, Sibyl? When I had the dream of the Asian man giving me a sifter, and when I looked, it wasn't rice, it was crystals, and that's
Did it?
Brian sang. Okay. And then I go out and I'm walking on crystals. There's crystals everywhere. And we're inside this huge tent. And then I see this tall guy. I don't know if it's Marcial Sarfate, my friend from Germany. If you're watching, Marcel, ¿qué onda? What's up? Or Brad Olson, but he was this really, really tall guy. And then I'm looking around and I'm like, oh my gosh, I wouldn't mind having a few of these, you know? And here comes Chad. Here, let me show you real quick.
Yeah.
Let me show you something. Chad gave me these agates when we were in Oregon, and I placed them in this thing. It took him a year to find these real agates, and he says I have the number 2 one here in the world. So thank you. That's part of the dream. So then I go to the stable. I go to the stable and I say, I want to buy those roses. There was these beautiful roses. And the lady says, and this is you, Sibyl. I'm gonna cry. And the lady says, okay. And I give her the money and she gives me the roses. You give me the roses back, but you give me the money back. And you said, those are for you. And you drew me with those 2 roses, red roses. Yeah. And I was like, and you even caught my teeth there. You know, I have reptilian teeth. I have the giant, you know, red hair. You caught everything in that picture.
That's so quick that your portrait just sort of was like, oh my God, that's her.
I want a copy of it to hang it.
Was that what I was wondering? What is an NFT?
A what?
Did you say NFTs? You're going to make some NFT?
Oh, NFT, yeah. That's digital. They found a way to mint digital art. And it's connected to the Ethereum chain. Although I don't want to use Ethereum. I'd rather use XRP. I don't know if I can do that. I believe in XRP also. But yeah, it's a way of making digital art unique, and then they can be traded. But I haven't done it yet. I should just do it.
You have to, Sibyl. Come on.
Well, what about copies of your artwork now? Like she was saying, like the paintings you've done.
Yeah, and you can still make copies. But I think I have the highest res versions of these. Yeah. On Substack, they're the very best. But I'm not really that sure. I'm kind of technologically challenged.
Me too. Even though we're psychic and we can, you know, race our ships with our mind. Real quick,
I'll tell you a really funny story. When I was psychic one time, I was in New York. It was like 20 years ago, 18 years ago. And there's these big bugs there, that big. They have a lot of legs and they live in parts of Brooklyn. And I didn't think they were in my building, but I got to the basement one day and I saw one down there. I had seen them years before in another building.
Centipede or a millipede?
Something like that. I don't know what they are. But then one day I was lying in my bed and I got this image really clear that right on the wall next to my toilet was a bug. And I was just like, I have to get up and go look at that. I got up and there it was and I killed it. But isn't that weird? What a weird thing to be psychic about.
Well, it's because you can go out of body. You can go out of body when you're asleep.
Oh yeah. I wasn't even asleep. It was afternoon. I was just daydreaming. It was pretty interesting.
That's when those things happen to me. I always say, not coming
going
from
out of body, baby girl.
Yeah, not from.
Why do you think they don't want us to? Sorry, Chad. Why do you think they don't want us to daydream in school when we were kids? Stop looking out the window because you can travel.
My son we do homeschool. He has never been in a school, so.
Nice.
Oh wow.
I'm not he does a lot of video games, but still he's learned a lot even on his own. Just with
he's kind of like us here, all of us. I think we're all savants. I think we are, because I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I can watch a movie in my head, find it, play a concerto, play Bach from beginning to end.
Oh, I forgot to tell you. Go ahead.
Tell me.
No, he plays violin. He's plus violin too, since you mentioned that. But I didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead.
Chair? Second chair? What is he?
No, it's more like fiddle, and he's just still learning. He's not there yet. But But what should I put him in an orchestra? Maybe
Yeah,
I will.
put him in orchestra and then pay for, I know I had to pay for my own. It's called Philharmonia Orchestra of Tucson. When I was in high school, I was there for 3 years. Philharmonia Orchestra of Tucson. They have to have some kind of philharmonia over there. And then I even tried out for the Symphony Orchestra of the U of A. So it was beautiful. And I played with Vicky Carr, Mariachi Camperos. If there is a mariachi conference over there, if you can have him also play mariachi, he's gonna need all kinds of because we need we're like, I don't know how to explain it. We need stimulation because we get bored with we need
Oh, yeah.
we need all the we hear concertos in our mind, we hear symphonies, so you need to stimulate those parts of his brain so he doesn't get bored with himself, and I think he's going to do well. Yeah. I mean, if you have questions about violin, he can always, we can do a Zoom thing. I wouldn't charge you.
That's great. I'd love to.
Thank you. So real quick, I studied Botticelli. Oh, go
What's
ahead.
that?
Right. Go
No,
ahead.
he takes lessons, but I'll get some from you too. And
Well,
then what did you say?
Yeah, it's just if you have any questions on
Okay.
yeah, like I haven't taught in like a long time. I mean, I can just answer questions. I can teach him on the phone. I mean, on Zoom, whatever. Get him into transposition. In high school, I learned how to transpose music. That's gonna really enlighten his mind.
Oh,
If you can, try and get him either into guitar or piano. That way he can, and enlarge his setting. I don't know, the words don't come to me right now, but yeah. So thank you guys.
And make sure
Huh?
and make sure that he gets his physics from Roger Spur on Mud Fossil University. At Mud Fossil University. Make sure he takes his history lessons from John Levi.
Are these people I need to look into?
Yes.
Oh, I'd love to.
YouTube. Yeah, Roger Spur with Mud Fossil University is incredible with his theories on physics.
Okay.
And biology and geology and everything like that. So.
I got all this stuff written down, but Chad, right after I'm done with this, I'm gonna talk about mud fossils and what happened last night. Okay. I studied Botticelli at the University of Arizona. I loved it. I fell in love with it. I'm glad I did it, Sibyl, because when I was in 4th grade, they told me that I'm no good with my art, and I had done this beautiful piece of art, but the teachers are also MKU to tell you, digital twin here, tell her you suck. You know what I mean? So it was to bring it down. Well, I created some more masterpiece artwork. I lost everything during my divorce because, I don't want to go into that. I gotta forgive that. But anyway, I'm glad that
and soon.
I think people should, huh?
And soon.
And soon, yes. I think people should.
You have to forgive that soon.
What?
I said you have to forgive it soon.
Yes, because the graduation is coming.
Before you see them again. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. The eighth sphere, what Sibyl was talking about the construct being around the universe. Actually, I do believe that because I have seen that we are under lock and key. Oh shoot, okay. You know that coin that I always show, that I gave it to myself, and it has a skull, and it has a Stargate, and it has all these codes around it, and behind there is a Mars complex. Okay, I gave it to myself via another person in this life. Like, we have these relics that we keep for ourselves to remind ourselves. Okay, that's one of them. So when I remote viewed it, and then I also had a dream that we are under lock and key, and there's these like figures, kind of like Stargate, the real Stargate movie that I really like. That shit is real right there. So we are under lock and key. Okay. We do have to fight our way when we leave our body, when we're ready to leave Earth, which we shouldn't even die, because they have this timer on us or whatever, we still have to fight our way out of the matrix. And the way that we make it home is through our heart, through getting rid of the programs here, and through love. Okay. The eighth sphere. Okay, so there is an octopus god, quote unquote, that the certain people here, we'll just say cabal, some worship, and it's the octopus with the 8 arms. And some of us, if not most of us, have also their blood. We're called blue blood, the O negative. A lot of the O negative come from the Nephilim, and that's what the world. I really hope this video is not taken down, but what it is they are protecting the Nephilim, and some of us have the Nephilim bloodline. Okay. And the Nephilims are connected to Saturn, connected to the moon for reincarnation. I've talked about this many times. And there is the eighth sphere that they grab onto, like, kind of source energy from there. I believe with my heart that they have entrapped source, because Ashiana Dean talks about the different matrices, the phantom matrix, all kinds of stuff where these
Okay.
are sifting energy from Earth. Okay. From
Is
us.
source trapped or is it infiltrated? Is there like something, is source pure, but it's going through a lens? And the lens is distorting it, or is it being manipulated from behind? I mean, how is source?
I see source like this, and they're like grabbing pieces from it.
Okay, then. Oh, now, like the dark crystal.
At the same time, we are like a little gadget that hooks up to, like, we'll say Enigma that Thule did. Okay, we're like little thumb drives connected to the main source, which they call God. But all of us together connected to this crystal, like the dark crystal and that movie, we are together. Okay,
we're like little facets of it. Yeah.
Not say no, because we together are that God particle from
many heads of the same God with different facets of the crystal.
Yeah, and I've also been to
frequencies, angles, texture. Yeah.
I've been also to the highest throne, the one that they talk about, Revelation, and I did a meditation in 2017 when I had that light come out of me, when I said, if there is a God or something that is higher than these Bible, whatever, these dog war, God wars, what I call, show me, so I won't end my life, because I've already tried to end it. I don't know how many times. I'll stay. And this is after 2010 what happened, and that's when the light came out. I went to the ground. When the light came out, the star shot out there and went to the floor, and my neighbors and the people I live with, we went outside and we're like, what the fuck did you do, Veronica? That's what Dee told me. I won't say her name. Did you open a vortex or a portal? And I'm like, what's that? Back in the day, I didn't know. This was in 2017 when I started learning. And it was a shooting star, and that's me coming in as a walk-in. I remember, I remember more stuff now. They didn't want me to remember. That's why they attacked me. And I told them a long time ago, I'll stay, but don't you dare fuck with my children or my bloodline. I got this, so we got this. We're here for our kids, right? We're here. Anyway, me, I go off on tangent. Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah. When do you believe you walked in? If you're a walk-in, when did that happen?
That happened the month of my February, right before my birthday's February 26, 71. So it happened a week before my birthday in 2017.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. So recently, pretty recent.
That's when I had.
You guys had an awakening at the same time.
It's like an ambush awakening.
2007.
Oh, 2007. Sorry. Apologize.
It's okay. There's a 7 in there. It was
2017 that something else happened. Okay, yeah.
Mine was 2017 awakening, and Sibyl's was 2007. Now in 2017, there was an airplane that left the radar. They never find the airplane.
Is that the Malaysia flight?
I think so. And they even made a movie. What is that?
Well, Mark Demizio knows what happened to that. It wound up at Diego Garcia.
Yes, that one.
So yeah.
It did reappear again. There is a movie called Manifest where they couldn't find the pilot, and then they found him later. It's just really weird. And then they aged. Like the people aged here, but the people that were gone into the wormhole didn't age. You got my package, Chad?
Yeah. I'm trying to show you, but my background won't go away. Yeah, I
Yeah, if
got
you
your
guys want to
package.
buy any cigars, buy them from Padro. What's his name again? George Padro. He's one of my friends, and Mary Ann Padro. She
Yeah,
you know,
Alejandro Pedro. Right.
Alejandro Pedro Padro. He makes cigars, and then
My camera flipped too. It's backwards, huh?
Mary Ann makes.
Now what is that again?
I sent him some cigars to thank him for having me over
Oh, okay, cool.
Oregon. I
Awesome.
had one here, but my daughter's like,
Gonna
no,
be a
mom,
tree
not.
in a second.
Anyway,
Thank you.
Sibyl, you're welcome. Sibyl, talk to
Yeah.
me. Talk to me.
And so what was I'm sorry, I forget things
Your
sometimes.
plans for the future. It's okay. I've had 2 TIAs, so forget about it. I get it. Your plans for the future
Oh,
are you're gonna do that little thing you're talking about.
I with as far as my SSP work, I want to do maybe 72, like you said, and then I thought it'd be a neat book. I don't know if it's too expensive to print with all those color pictures. There's a lot I don't know yet. Um, and I also want to just
Well, charge us. Charge us. Tell me how much you want, and I'll pay you for mine.
oh, you don't know.
You know what I mean? You can send me a copy and a copy of the writing.
Oh,
It's up to you, whatever.
yeah, I'll see. And then also I'll make the NFTs. I have to look into doing that. And then whoever, like if you wanted your own NFT, but you have to pay for the process of minting. So it's not free, but I wouldn't charge you very much.
I think you should charge us because you have to exchange energy. You didn't even charge us to paint us or to write about us, Sibyl. There has
I
to be
know.
some kind of exchange.
Yeah. I figured
Oh,
get stuff out there and then eventually I'll be able to sell my work. You know what I mean?
and
Yeah.
one thing we're working on too, Veronica and I, is it seemed like you might have had questions, in regards to Sheila the She-Hulk, and what I've realized is that there's some holes in there, and it's only because the memories come in fragmented.
Mm-hmm.
You get memories from other people that are fragmented, and then you're joining it. You're combining them, and the story becomes more and more coalesced. And that's what we're doing right now, is writing Sheila's story. So
It's
we're
beautiful.
pulling all those parts in together to make the story a little bit more solid. And then
Yes.
we're also going to be reaching out and, filling in some of the places where there might have been questions and different
Yeah.
things. So that's what
It's
we're working
beautiful.
hard on
Chad's
at the
doing
moment.
really great work.
I think that's so excellent. And I encourage you to do that. Both of you, to like Tony Rodriguez, he does those memory courses to help people make a timeline. And then is that what, do you have a book? Is that your book, Veronica?
We're working on it. Yeah, that so Sheila the She-Hulk, I'm just gonna give you a little teaser.
Okay.
We'll go into my Myra dolphin altar. We'll go into Cuba, what relics I picked up there, why Sheila the She-Hulk gave the blood to the other Hulks to be made, and how we freed the dolphins before we blew up that freaking laboratory or laboratories. So it's
And then
exciting.
messages from Sheila too. There's some
Yeah.
messages from Sheila that are important.
Yeah. So write it out really.
Yeah.
And it's going to be so powerful. And I really love the written word, and because it's one thing to watch interviews, which they're great, but a book, like, you can put so much into it. And that's what really blew my mind, was when I read Transformation of America and also Thanks for the Memories. Those two autobiographies,
Wow.
I believe it. And that's why I'm the way I am now.
Yeah.
So
I wanted to tell you, Sybil, that you're very important in our community.
Mm-hmm.
You're helping us to heal, and we are healing through your art. And you're magic. We are all magic. You're helping us connect our heart again.
Not putting anyone off by writing about them without their permission, but I figure once something's public, you can write about it, I guess. Yeah. But there's definitely some more people that I want to write about. I'm almost done, Obi.
Yeah,
We're almost
we
finished.
can call it quits so you can be with your son. I know how important it is with our children. Our children always come first. So any other last words, Sibyl or Chad?
I'd like to know how to get a hold of, not get a hold of Sibyl, but how to find. Do you have a website? Do you have something where people
We
can
have
observe
Substack.
the book or purchase?
You you can even write to me on there, although
Okay.
I haven't done that yet, but I'll start looking for private messages. But
Okay.
Little
We'll
Haynes,
do that because that'll get you into the routine of doing it too.
Yeah,
And it'll get you, yeah.
I have
and
an
my
idea,
Substack
Sibyl.
is called Awareness of What Is Hidden.substack.com.
Okay,
But
send that to me on my phone. But
what?
so I'll put it up here. But I have an idea for you.
Oh yes.
Patreon. Okay. So the
Oh
people that you pay, you know how you paint us, right? 72 of us.
yeah.
Okay, you always give us a copy, blah blah blah, through our phone. Great, thank you. But if public wants to see, maybe you can do that, like a Patreon thing, you know?
That's a great tip. And I also want to get into doing some interviews, and probably both of you. I would love to hear more, like more. I could interview you, Veronica, and you,
Yeah.
Chad. To get your more of your stories.
Yeah. Now, a lot of our stories are on this channel, Codebreaker Real Talk, or you can look at the
And
playlist.
we're writing books on it right now because right now I wanted to write one on Sheila, and we're doing that, and then we're also doing one here in the 3D and the love bites and the love affairs and all that stuff.
The CIA love bites.
The CIA love bites. So it's going to be a tell-all.
Yeah. And how it's better to be celibate.
Yeah, everyone will want to be celibate after reading this book. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Just joking. There is somebody out there for everyone. I do have faith in that. So don't be celibate. You'll find your.
Meanwhile, people get into all kinds of intrigue and problems, and it's kind of lame.
Yeah, it is lame. After a while, it gets old. It's like, when are you going to learn your lesson? Just say no. And
Not
just,
interested.
yeah, we have 24 hours in our battery, right? Some of us, negatives, have more, or people that are, we have what they call ADHD. We have more than 24 hours. So be careful how you use your energy, guys, because our energy is our life source. Take care of your body. You don't want to be, just extending out your energy to everybody and anybody. You have to protect your aura, you know?
Yeah, energy, body, because that's the more important aspect. And you heal that, then your body will follow suit.
Yeah. And it's better to forgive.
Easier said than done, and maybe it's not so hard either, but it's
Right.
yeah. It's
But
easy to feel good when you feel good, but it's hard to feel good when you don't. It's hard to feel good, and it's hard to fake it, but sometimes you got to get in there and feel strong when you're feeling weak, and you don't. It's like picking yourself up by the bootstraps. Yep.
Like people that go through near-death experiences, sometimes they come back and their illness is gone because they had a little communion with the force, the source, God, whatever we want to call. Sometimes it's
Oh
Jesus.
my God, Sibyl, don't get me to that. Now I'm going to talk about the hologram. I don't think my dad was my dad. I think they were the hologram to send me back to Earth. And those demons, that they're the blue Hindu wannabe gods that I had to slay with my sword because they're trying to take my life. And then, they put my dad as a hologram. Oh, you got to come back to Earth. You're not done. Okay, I get it. But it wasn't, I don't think it was my dad. I think it's just holograms that they use to reincarnate you back. You know what I'm saying? I know there is we'll say, a beautiful, I don't like to use the word God, because you know what I mean. There's something that we are a part of that loves us and is just pure unconditional love. But we got to be careful because there's a lot of tricksters out there, the blue beings too.
I think there's a lot of
And I'll give you a sneak peek. My next report I'm trying to work on, it's taken me a while, is Jimmy Payne, that James Rink has interviewed many times. His stories are so crazy, and I pretty much believe most of them.
Payne?
But Jimmy Payne,
Okay.
he wound up Okay, his father was a Project Paperclip scientist, so he was a child, and then he became kind of an experiment for the deep state and the
Oh, yeah.
CIA. Grew up at Area 51, and but I just wanted one little thing about him. He also from 11 to 17, he grew up in Vietnam during the war, and they would always anything weird they'd let Jimmy test it or figure it out. And so there was these night vision goggles with
Oh,
the
they're the ones that had the red. The red.
dye cyan and they were seeing weird, crazy demons.
That shit is real.
Yeah, it's real. And yeah. And then they knew when they normally know that we can't see them, but then they could tell when he could see them.
It's a
So
dogman.
mysterious universe.
It's the dogman, and also he could see the insectoids that are in Vietnam. He could see the dog. I know all about this. Believe me, I was in Vietnam too. I have a memory.
Oh
But
yeah, I'd love
the
to.
red goggles. Say again?
Did you talk about your Vietnam experience in any of your videos? Because I tried to watch a lot your playlist about you.
I talked about when we did have the GoPros in Vietnam. But I looked at and then I was under there was a lot of okay, so I have a memory that I'm shooting, I have my military, my head thing. I don't have the GoPro on me, but I see these weapons coming through, and I'm in these white, huge rocks, and I have to hide under there so that they don't shoot at me. But at the same time, I'm trying to shield up my back, because with the anthrax shot that they gave me in the sharp quaalude in 1991, that's used to light up your back neon, so that way they know where we are. Okay. So I was shielding myself from that. Then I saw where there was like an old apartment complex where it was all shut up. I was a soldier there, and I was watching these other soldiers come in, but they had the GoPros. And that what I saw is these images that were being shot to the GoPro camera here and being reflected to here. And they were just like robotic. They were robotic. I'm like, these are not real. These are not real. That's as far as I can tell. And of course the dogmen, I have the werewolf blood. Every full moon, I have to wear red, and then I eat tons and tons of meat on a full moon. And I just become like my dog. She's a German Shepherd. So we sync up. And when we're outside like 2, 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning, doing guard duty, because there's some cryptids that are out here on the full moon. I'm part of a dogman experiment. Well, werewolf, because the dogmen, I've had to kill a few in my dreams, and some of them are blue, which again, this is another story for another day, but I've already talked about it. Mike, the Navy guy who ended up, who I ended up writing now, who was a pedophile, and Journey to the Truth.
Oh,
Because I told Journey to the Truth, you better take down that video. But then Heidi Hope, she says, oh no, they didn't know anything about it. And I'm like, I'm sure he told them and Telegram that he got in trouble for something, but they didn't take down his videos. I took my 3-hour video down with him. So the next few months, then that night I had a dream of him. Oh my gosh, there's just so much to talk about. They're in my interviews. But anyway, the blue dog men, they're from Pluto. And they also can use them anywhere else. The werewolves, I have werewolf and lichen, which is werewolf and vampire blood.
because
blood, all kinds of shit. Sorry.
in Lycos means wolf in Greek, I happen to know. So.
Oh shit. I think that's a trigger word.
Oh no, I'm sorry.
Well, no, it's okay. Hold on. Off, off, off. Off, off, off. Okay. Because you can trigger someone by the word, and then you either say on or off, just like they do with roaches. Roaches is a hologram. I know by Jessica. I won't say her last name. I don't know if she wants me to say. She told me that it was a hologram being used here in Tucson in private. But I did see a video from Japan where they have the roaches. They have them there in the lab, and they say on, and then they turn on. and then they say off. So I always say off, 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 off. There. To turn off the altars.
Great.
Of
Yeah.
what you
Sorry
just said. Thank you for telling me though.
I guess I really should go now because of my son. I gotta see what he's probably hungry.
I know. I'll let you go. Love you, Sibyl.
Love you too. This was so fun.
And go ahead and send me.
Nice to meet you.
Oh, I said just nice to meet Chad too. And
Thank you as well.
And yeah, let's all stay in touch.
Okay, thank you, Sibyl. Bye.
Hey, thank you. Bye.
Love you.
Love you.
Bye. Okay, Chad. I'll see you on my phone.
Okay. Love you too.